needed the tough yard, and he went with his prize fighter. And he got it. Hank, you didn't like that last formation by the Falcons. You said it was illegal.
It was illegal. The right side of the line was off the ball. It was almost like they were in the backfield that time, all on the right side.
No call, and Rozier gets the necessary yard. First down. Tolliver from the 44, underneath to Rison. Slices to the middle and down at the 35. It's once more update time, and Greg Gumbel in New York with the details.
Jim at Soldier Field in Chicago from 22 yards out. Harbaugh to Wendell Davis. Watch the catch in the end zone. With the extra point, the Bears have taken the lead, and they are back inside the Lions' 30-yard line in the fourth quarter, Jim.
That was ugly, that pass, but he came back for it. Davis, touchdown, and the Bears in front. Second down and 1. Chafee in the backfield.
They ought to go right up the middle. That's the hole.
There it is, Hank. Haley, however, is there. Chafee's near the first down.
Didn't blow in there as tough as they should have, but he made the yardage for the first down. You had the guards covered with 2 tackles and the linebacker off the ball. As a result, that's the bubble. The bubble meaning the space between the ball and the player. He was off the ball. As a result, that's where they should hit. They did and made the yardage for the first down.
Now that's going to be the end of the quarter, Hank. The end of the third with the score. San Francisco 7 and Atlanta nothing.
Because you believe these trucks shouldn't carry a spare tire.
It's a ride beer now.
Because up here, crisp-tasting beer just comes naturally.
It's a ride beer now.
Because when the whole gang gets together, there's no room for filling up. So reach for the Silver Bullet, the beer that won't weigh you down.
It's a ride beer now.
Somehow, people have gotten the idea the new Toyota Paseo is a wildly exciting, sporty coupe. The Paseo is a practical, sensible car. Okay, so it has some muscle. And a low starting price could be a big turn-on. And sure, you're going to be instantly popular. That's no reason to do something impulsive. Think it over. The all-new Paseo, a very practical car from Toyota.
Because AT&T knows that there's news to share and times to remember and plans to be made and stories to tell. Now you can save even more this holiday season. 30% off calls for 2 full months from 5 to 10 p.m. for Reach Out America plan customers with an evening discount. There's never been a better time to be with us. If you don't have Reach Out America, call now and get 30% off. Only for you, only from us.
You're watching CBS Sports coverage of the National Football League.
Jim Nantz along with Hank Stram as we start the fourth quarter. Atlanta on the move. Football at the 49ers 34, but it's a 3rd and 1 situation for the Falcons. Both starting quarterbacks out of the game with an injury. Rozier. Oh, look at him pushed back by Dennis Brown. Where is the forward progress? That likely, yep, the way they spot it at the 33, that's enough for an Atlanta first down. They ran toward Mike Ruther, who is filling in for Bill Fralick in the second half. Fralick out with a dislocated elbow, and Ruther in at right guard, Hank.
Yeah, I think probably they were thinking in terms of also running over Hinton, the right tackle, hoping to get a good push and make the necessary yardage for the first down.
Ruther was the center in the USFL for Steve Young and the LA Express. First and 10. Sidearms it over to Rison. That's a gain of about 3.
He was lucky to get away with that throw that time. The sidearm as he threw it, but he got it there in good shape.
Well, there's Ruther. And his former quarterback, he snapped it to with the Express, Steve Young. Ruther comes to the Falcons, starts the year backing up Jamie Dukes. Becomes a starting tight end, but today forced into action back on the line at right guard. 2nd and 7. And Rozier weaves his way down to the 25.
See, they're doing a little bit what we talked about earlier in the game about you play against a quick, fast, agile defensive line like the 49ers. You got to run at them. This is what they're doing, and they're getting a good push off the line of scrimmage.
Ruther did a nice job on that one, Hank.
Yeah, he got a pretty good push on Romanowski, number 53.
12th play of the drive for Atlanta. Drive and 4th and 1, 3rd and 1, and 3rd and 2.
That offensive line of Atlanta is a big, strong offensive line and a very good one. They're getting a good push. They're getting a good surge off the line of scrimmage, and they're running straight ahead with great success.
Mike Rozier, the '83 Heisman winner from Nebraska. Runner-up to Rozier, Steve Young. 1st and 10 from the 18. Falcons trying to drive for a tying score. Here he is again, Rozier. Oh, he puts a hit on Waymer. Full contact from both sides, and they knock him out at the 15. A gain of 4.
Waymer bounced off of him like he had a rubber suit on that time, didn't he?
Sure did. Before this possession, Hank, Atlanta had managed 49 yards total offense for the game. They picked up 60 yards so far on this one drive.
Well, that's the thing about playing this kind of a game. They should have been way behind, but they're still very much in it. Got a chance to win.
2nd down and 6. A 3rd and 5 coming up. Griffin comes up to make the tackle. This drive comes on the heels of that consultation on the sidelines for Tolliver from June Jones, the offensive coordinator.
Well, the important thing is they're moving the chains. That's what they want to do. Move the chains.
There's June somewhat frantically getting some signals in. Third down, 5 to go with 10:45 on the clock. Fake to Broussard. They go to him on the pass. And he leans for the first.
Tolliver did a good job of getting rid of the ball like he did. Got a severe rush right up the middle. But in spite of that, he had good anticipation, got rid of it. Broussard for the first down.
And Broussard, Hank, didn't like where they marked it. And he said, hey, wait a minute. I stretched it out. And they're going to have a measurement. Well, he didn't like the mark, but they got the first anyway. 1st and goal from the 8. Haynes to the right, Thomas to the left. Rozier, the single back.
Look at the left side.
Rozier, about a yard.
Had to dance around too much before he got to where he wanted to go. but they hit the soft spot in the defense. That's a play, you know, Jim, where you really want to try to read the block of the offensive tackle. And in this case, Mike Ken, number 78, you either go inside or outside, and making that decision, he went inside. Had he been able to hook the defensive end on that last play, talking about Ken, that would really been a big play.
Second down and goal.
Look at the area right over the guard, the right guard, soft spot. Let's see if they hit it. Nope.
Tolliver to Pritchard. Todd Bowles with the sure tackle. Third and goal coming up from about the 3-yard line. First catch of the day for Pritchard. Top rookie receiver in the NFL this year with 32 catches. Minutes, 47 seconds remaining in the game. Seifert in San Francisco with a shutout to this point, but the Falcons can tie it right here.
They like to run the option here in this situation sometimes. Let's see if they do it here. They got a shot at the option right. Oh, they're bringing him back out where he was.
Rison in for the touchdown.
Phillips gave him a shot right in the side of the face that time. You see that quick hit? Official didn't see it.
This has been waiting to happen all day. Billy Joe Tolliver says to his teammates, he barks out, hey, let's go. They still have to kick the tying extra point.
I'll tell you something, Tolliver did a good job of that drive. Showed a lot of poise.
His first touchdown pass in an Atlanta uniform. Andre Rison with his third touchdown of the year against the 49ers. Johnson, a longtime Seattle kicker, now with the Falcons.
I asked him before the game too, Jim. I didn't like kicking on grass. He used to be kicking on synthetic turf all the time. He said, I like it. The grass here is excellent. He said it was especially nice right after the World Series.
Here's the touchdown pass, 3 yards. Tolliver to Rison. Don Griffin on the coverage, and he takes the ball across, stretches it out, extends it for the 6.
It's a quick pass in the flat, hard to cover. You get it off in time, which they did. Uh-oh, there's a shot to the face by Phillips.
Jason Phillips also got a piece of the official. Actually just reviewed that pass, that touchdown. And as you see, it's a touchdown, no question. The game is tied. Which team will go over 500 for the first time this year? We'll return to Fulton County Stadium after this message from your local station. You're watching the NFL on CBS.
This is CBS.
The decision to buy a new Honda Accord is a very complex process whereby the higher nervous centers receive stimuli from the sense organs and interpret and correlate them to formulate certain motor impulses. So use your brain. Go get an Accord.
Of all the tough opponents I've faced, none's been tougher than pain. Smelly old-fashioned liniments never helped much, but today's trainers have something that works. Aloe vera-based Flexall 454. When one pain-relieving gel is endorsed by the athletic trainers in pro football, baseball, basketball, and hockey, you know it's the best. Sidelined with pain? Get back in the game with Flexall. It's a winner. Flexall, the pain relief pro trainers recommend.
The blow of a northwest winter. It can pack quite a wallop. At Les Schwab, we put you in the ring to fight back. The snow, the ice, the rain, you fight it with all seasons traction, studded traction, Les Schwab's exclusive Snowflex traction. You fight it with Les Schwab's passenger chain policy. It lets you bring them back in the spring if you don't use them. Batteries, a full selection installed free. Winter in the Northwest. Whatever it takes, we'll get you through. Les Schwab, tires that take on winter.
Mike Donahue and Shirley Hancock, weeknights on Newsroom 6 at 5.
The big redhead, Billy Joe Tolliver. 7 of 8 on the drive and a touchdown pass. Now having the kick from the 20, they called the unsportsmanlike conduct penalty against Phillips on the touchdown. They only allow Dexter Carter to run it back to the 34. Tracy Eaton with the tackle. Both starting quarterbacks knocked out of the game with injuries. Steve Bono is the quarterback for the 49ers. Steve Young injured right before the half with a strained left knee.
I guarantee you they better pick their feet up because I think the Falcons have kind of taken the game away from them in this last drive.
Carter crashes for about 4. Jesse Tuggle on the hit. Tuggle, who never comes out of the game regardless of down and distance, stays in all situations.
You talk about a guy that dances every dance. He's the guy. His card is always full, isn't it?
I'm telling you. Steve Young. Mike Ruther. 2nd down and 5, and Henderson is in the backfield with Rathman.
If they run, they're going to run left.
Bono on the play action. Out of bounds near the 1st. Mo Gardner was chasing after him. Scott Case on the collision on the sidelines. 7:40 remaining in the game, tied 7-7.
Good deception on the play. The left halfback was way ahead of the fullback, which means that you're usually going to run that way, which they did, but it was a play action fake. And he took off and ran with it.
It's Mo Gardner lunging.
Yeah. Another step, he'd have made the tackle. He dove a little bit too soon. Scott Case finally knocked him out of bounds.
They bring the chains across from the opposite side, and it's a 1st down for the 49ers. The 49ers have not won a close one this year. Their 4 losses have been by 6 points or less. All 4 of their wins have been by a minimum of 16 points. Henderson ridden down by Rick Bryan.
I tell you, Bryan's been with this team for a long time and has really been an outstanding player for them. He's played tackle, he plays end, he does it all. Played at college football at the University of Oklahoma, but he's been a terrific football player for the Atlanta Falcons. Been with them exactly 8 years, 8th season right now.
Don Makowski went out with an injury in that game. Green Bay leading in the 4th quarter. Hamstring injury for Makowski. Tom Zacks replaced him. 2nd down and 11. Sidney in the backfield. Jerry Rice shakes free and gains about 4 yards. Broke away twice. Rice. Ken Tippins was one player he broke away from.
Yeah, he was in a wingback position that time. He just went down and broke out in the flat, and they hit him. He should have been tackled for about a 1-yard gain.
Approaching 6 minutes. 7-7, and it's 3rd and 7 for the 49ers.
We got 6 defensive backs in the game. Atlanta.
Flag down. There's a flag down. That pass intended for Rice. This is in the area of offensive holding. Bernie Kukar still has not signaled.
74 on the offense. Penalty decline, 4th down.
Holding indeed. Punting situation for Prokop. Joe Prokop in to punt for the 49ers.
You know, before the game, I asked Joe, I said, what kind of a name is Prokop? He said, it's Czech. And he said, you know what it means in Czechoslovakian? I said, no. He said, it means to kick through.
To kick through.
How about that? I wonder if he made that up. How are you going to doubt it?
37 yards on the punt by Prokop. Falcons with the football. 5.5 minutes to go. All tied.
For McDonald's McLean Deluxe, Kevin Green.
I know what you're thinking. Who? Story of my life. You won't see me in a Diet Coke commercial. You just don't get famous by being 91. Take McLean Deluxe. It's 91% fat-free, but all people talk about is its big burger taste. No one remembers 91.
Hey, you! Out of the locker room!
McLean Deluxe, unforgettable taste at McDonald's today.
Sorry, Green. Green. I gotta write that down.
Power. Applied intelligently, its effects are magnificent. Witness the Oldsmobile Cutlass Supreme. Powered by the world's largest 24-valve V6 engine and an electronic transmission. It's a car designed to provide a more intelligent standard of performance, measured not simply in miles per hour, but by a slightly different gauge, miles per gallon. Oldsmobile, the power of intelligent engineering.
So I'm doing my sound check.
Hello.
And I hear this woman's voice.
Crunch that last chord. I'll show you.
She grabbed the guitar.
And then she started rocking. No, I mean rocking.
You're pretty good. Not.
Someone that hot deserves something this cold. Suddenly, I remember this was a bud spot.
I like your style.
This game summary is sponsored by Budweiser.
Well, at halftime, the total yardage was 8-1 for San Francisco. However, San Francisco led only 7-0. Cofer missed 4 field goals in the first half. Miller and Young have both been knocked out of the game with injuries. Sore ribs or rib cage area injury for Miller, and Young with a strained left knee. Tolliver was 7 of 8 on the last drive, and he's back at the controls again on 1st and 10 from the 27. Oh, they read it that time, and Rozier will lose 2. Dennis Brown on the hit.
Yeah, he did something that time he didn't very rarely do. He hesitated a little bit looking for a place to go. By the time he tried to shift gears, it was all over. Great pursuit by the San Francisco 49ers, and that's what they do so well. They're going to have to throw some short passes, possession kind of passes along the way, too, along with a run to try to move the chains.
That's Mike Cofer. 0 for 4 in this game, but maybe will have a chance later to redeem himself. Chafee in the backfield, 2nd and 12. Chafee fumble, and Ruther is there to fall on it. They may be ruling that an incompletion.
Yeah, I don't think he ever had possession of it, Jim, but it was close.
That was ruled an incompletion. Well, you can't tell.
It looked like he did have possession and ran a few steps with it and then fumbled it.
Can't tell with his back to us if he had full control of it, but it looked like he made a couple of steps anyway. 3rd down and 12. Looking for Pritchard, and he is almost picked off. Diving attempt by Merton Hanks. Tolliver points to himself, disgusted with that pass.
Yeah, he said, it's my fault. We're lucky he wasn't intercepted. Well, the 49ers ought to come out of this with good field position. They better have somebody over on the sideline talking to Cofer, getting him pumped up in case he has to kick a field goal.
Oh, now this will start it again. I think it was Antonio Goss who came across and put a lick on Chafee. Niners claiming they were drawn off. May have been the guy on the outside who was wavering a little bit for the Falcons. And then Jesse Tuggle got into it, the hammer. And they're still jawing.
And of course, Goss.
Encroachment on the defense prior to the snap, 5-yard penalty.
Yeah, Goss, number 98. And then that's what transpired on the play, boys.
Still not enough for the first. 4th down and 7 to go.
And in this case, you wonder about blocking a kick. You're not going to try to block the kick because you don't want to take a chance of roughing the kicker and give him a chance to get a first down. Let's see what they choose to do.
Well, I think this time Atlanta moved.
False start, number 42 on the offense prior to the snap, 5-yard penalty.
.436 remaining in the game. The 49ers have 2 timeouts to work with. Game tied 7-7. Bullhay. Good one this time. Beach fumbles it. Whoa! Scooped up by Tracy Johnson.
See, the knee hit, and then, of course, the ball popped out of there. Never had possession of it. Didn't look like it.
Jeff Donaldson was the first man downfield. The ball squirted loose from Beach, and then Donaldson knocked it forward. And Johnson falls on it. Tracy Johnson. Bullhay with a 47-yard punt.
Look at Bullhay.
And a 47-inch vertical leap.
Look at that Atlanta hop he's doing there. But he was in a bad position to make that catch. Taylor was.
That was actually Sanjay Beach. Beach back to field the punt. They had Taylor.
Oh, no wonder. I wondered why. Okay. I thought that'd be very unusual for him to try to catch a ball that way.
Taylor had been the punt returner at the first of the game. He had been fighting off the flu all weekend. He had sore ribs as well. I know Beach has had punt return attempts, but he got the call in the second half, and he fumbled that one. Down, and Chafee ridden back by Dennis Brown, who twice has made that same kind of tackle. Fagan also. 49ers. The 4 missed field goals by Cofer. A block attempt from 33 yards, a 32-yarder that hit the right upright, another 32-yarder wide left, and a 40-plus yarder that was also wide to the left. 2nd down and 10. Rozier has returned to the backfield. Here he is. It'll be a 3rd and 6 situation for Atlanta. Clock running, approaching 3 minutes.
They're going to try to slam it at him as much as they possibly can. They're getting a good push up front with their offensive linemen.
Third down and 6. Romanowski will not let him get the first. Norm Johnson will attempt the field goal to put Atlanta ahead. I saw Jerry Glanville before the game on the field, and I said, Coach, what kind of game do you think it'll be today? Since the last 2 against the 49ers have been 45-35 and 39-34 games. He said, just because of that, he said, this will probably be a 10-7 game. It's almost eerie. His team now can go in front 10-7. Norm Johnson will attempt a field goal out of the hold of Fulhaig. Guy Bingham will snap it. It'll be a 29-yard attempt. Johnson is 8 of 10 on the year. The 49ers just used a timeout. That was the delay. 29-yard attempt to put Atlanta in front. Norm Johnson from 29 yards, and the Falcons 10 unanswered points and have the lead 10-7. Norm Johnson, who did not even start this season with Atlanta. He lost the Seattle kicking job after 9 years. He lost it to a University of Georgia rookie by the name of John Casey. Brad Daluiso was the kicker for the Falcons the first 2 weeks, but they cut him after the 2nd game. Johnson, since that time, has taken over the duties and nailed 9 out of 11.
One thing about Johnson, he really gets the ball up in a hurry. You talk about getting the flaps up, he gets them up quickly.
Johnson had 2 late field goals in the game at Candlestick. That amounted to the difference. It was 34-33 in that game, and then 2 field goals by Johnson rounded out the scoring and gave him the win. 4 field goals in all in that game.
Normally in the past, this kind of a score with this kind of time left on the clock was not much of a problem for the 49ers. That was their specialty. They were great in the 2-minute offense. Now it's going to be a different situation with a young quarterback, Steve Bono, at the controls. We'll see what happens.
A man who started the year as the 3rd quarterback for San Francisco. Montana out, Young injured today.
This return is very important. They got to get the ball back with halfway decent field position.
Carter will have to run it back from the goal line to across the 20. Nice move by Dexter Carter. Tracy Johnson finally made the tackle. Johnson, the man who recovered the fumbled punt.
The 49ers have only had 53 yards of total offense in the second half. Is that amazing? Had 275 in the first half.
The blown opportunities in the first half haunting now San Francisco, as Mike Ken is the latest to visit with the physicians. 1st and 10 from the 32. Screen pass, Harry Sidney takes the angle to the sideline, out of bounds at the 36, 4 yards. .225 remaining in the game. San Francisco, timeout situation, only one for the Niners. Atlanta has all 3. 2nd down and 6.
They're playing a deep zone, 3 deep zone, just giving them stuff in front. Take as much time off the clock as they can.
Sidney across the middle this time has 1st down yardage at the 45. Bono wants his team set quickly to get another playoff before the 2-minute warning. They'll get one more try before the 2-minute warning. It was in the area of Mike Sherrard. Bobby April is the special teams coach at Atlanta. His team blocked a field goal. Norm Johnson kicked the go-ahead field goal and also recovered a fumbled punt. 2nd down and 10.
They were playing a 3 deep zone a little while ago. Now they're back to 2 deep.
Wide open is Sidney. Look at him go inside the 40 and out of bounds near the 35. No one in the area for Harry Sidney. Gain 19 in all. Can the Niners do it?
It took all day. But they finally came up with one very big idea. What do you bet they printed on a laser jet from Hewlett-Packard?
There's something new, you're gonna love it. From KFC, it's called the Go Bucket.
KFC introduces Go Buckets. Enjoy original recipe, hot wings, and extra tasty crispy chicken.
Nobody's cooking like today's KFC.
If your face were square, shaving would be simple, but your face has curves. You need the Schick Tracer, with a blade that flexes to put more of the blade edge against your skin. Tracer from Schick traces every curve on your face.
It's a car born of intelligent engineering. It's responsive, innovative, refined. It's a driver's side airbag and anti-lock brakes. Introducing the all-new 88 Royale LS. Oldsmobile. The power of intelligent engineering.
Now, get 2.9% APR financing for up to 48 months.
CBS Sports coverage of the National Football League is sponsored by Oldsmobile, the power of intelligent engineering. Hewlett-Packard LaserJet printers, they'll get you noticed. And by Budweiser, the king of beers, who reminds you friends know when to say when.
Jim Nance and Hank Stram from Atlanta. Mike Cofer trying to forget about his first half miseries of 4 missed field goals. He may be called on to tie this game. Send it to overtime. First down for Steve Bono. Here comes the blitz. He gets it away to Sherrard. And just inside the 20.
Bono did a terrific job that time. They got some pressure. They were laying off before. Now they came with a lot of people. He got rid of the ball in good shape, 1-for-1 coverage. And Butler is down on the play.
Butler is the latest to be injured, and Tim McKyer is back in.
Look at Tuggle coming in there on a blitz. He got rid of the ball. Bono saw it coming, anticipated it, got rid of the ball just in time. Sherrard makes the catch, gets out of bounds, and in the process, why, there's an injury on the play.
Sherrard was bumped out by McKyer, who returned. Butler now is getting help.
Working to be the best they can be. Teammates, sponsored by the U.S. Army. The charismatic combination of Joe Namath and Don Maynard helped establish an entire league. Maynard was the first player ever to gain over 10,000 yards receiving, and Namath delivered on his boast in Super Bowl III. As individuals, their skills carried them to the Hall of Fame. Together as teammates, they helped bring credibility to the American Football League and made the Jets the best they can be.
Enemy on the open. Moving up on your right, Bravo 2. Fire!
I'm 30 miles from the action, but I'm responsible for a digital communication link between headquarters and brigade.
Enemy tank, checkpoint 1.
If the data isn't programmed right, 5,000 troops could be cut off.
Enemy forces together.
But I'd never let that happen to my brigade.
Op 4 is eliminated.
Be all that you can be.
You did it, sir.
Outstanding. Get an edge on life in the Army.
Introducing a car so intelligently engineered, it can be measured along these lines or graded on a curve. The 1992 Oldsmobile 88 Royale, engineered to prove that a straight line isn't always the best way to get from point A to point B. Oldsmobile, the power of intelligent engineering.
Now, get 2.9% APR financing for up to 48 months.
I think this one will be another concussion for a secondary man from Atlanta. Bobby Butler groggy and heading to the sidelines. Trailing 10-7 in this one. Can the 49ers come back with another fourth quarter comeback? 8 since the start of the '89 season. All of them on the road. However, no comebacks so far this season. 1:47 remaining, and a 1st and 10 situation at the Atlanta 19.
They're going to throw in front of the corner on the right side. Look at all the room over there, boys.
Fumble! Recovered by Harris Barton. Elbert Shelley on the blitz, helped knock the ball free.
Look at Sanders, he's gimpy again.
It's Billy Joe Tolliver who came out to give him a hand.
Amazing he's playing with that leg the way it is.
It's a loss of 11. He is working on, Deion Sanders is working on John Taylor. Now they may be holding up play for a review. Let's take a look at it, Hank. I'm sure they're reviewing it upstairs. Make sure it wasn't an incompletion. No,
Shelley.
Yep. That's a clear fumble recovered by Barton.
Shelley gets a good jump, blitzing from the corner. No question about the fact that it was a fumble. See, he tried to throw the ball, but brought it back down and then had it, and that's why it was a fumble, not an incompleted forward pass.
2nd and 21 from the 30. Taylor on the near side working on Sanders. They go right side through the hands of Sidney.
Sidney took his eye off the ball. He saw the cover guy come into the picture and lost concentration and missed it completely. He was waiting to get hit instead of catching the ball on that last play. I don't know why they don't throw the ball out there to Rice. McKyer is off of him of 8 to 10 yards. Just throw the ball to him and let him get as much out of the play as they possibly can.
Saints and Rams, some of you will see that next. Phoenix and Dallas for others. Saints up by a field goal. 3rd and 21. 59 seconds to go.
They're bringing it back over. They're going to try to throw the ball left side.
Going long for Taylor. Touchdown, San Francisco. They beat Deion Sanders.
That's the guy to work it. What they did that time, Jim, they put 3 receivers on the right side, which made one-on-one coverage on the left side on Taylor. Touchdown, San Francisco. See, they got 3 guys on the right side, one-on-one on the left side. And look at, here it is. Taylor on Sanders. There's no way in the world, you know, Sanders shouldn't be in there in the first place. He's so gimpy. We've been talking about it all afternoon. There's no way in the world that he shouldn't have been thrown on a lot more than he was during the course of this game. Give Bono an awful lot of credit for that catch, for that pass. A beautiful throw. When you had to throw it, you talk about a money shot. He put it on the line.
Both touchdowns today to John Taylor. 53 seconds for the Falcons. Last bid.
If you're into looking good, get into Bud Light. The clean, fresh taste won't fill you up, never let you down.
You can taste it and feel it and know you got it right. 'Cause everything else is just a light. Everything else is just a light. Everything else is just a light. Everything else.
Sony compact disc players. Your ears will tell you. It's not only what you play, it's what you play it on.
Power. Applied intelligently, its effects are magnificent. Witness the Oldsmobile Cutlass Supreme. Powered by the world's largest 24-valve V6 engine and an electronic transmission. It's a car designed to provide a more intelligent standard of performance, measured not simply in miles per hour, but by a slightly different gauge, miles per gallon. Oldsmobile, the power of intelligent engineering.
John Taylor with both touchdowns for the 49ers. One, in fact, in the first half was 97 yards, longest pass play in 49ers history. And these teams coming in, as we remind you, tied 4-4 on the season.
I'm going to tell you something, Bono, you really showed me something on that drive. Did a terrific job.
He was 4 out of 5 passing on that drive, and Eric Pegram will down it for a touchback. Atlanta has 2 timeouts left.
Here again, the key to this thing, they had 3 wide receivers to the right side, which meant that Sanders had to cover one-on-one. Protection is good. Bono throws the ball right over the top, over the left shoulder beautifully. Sanders has no way in the world to cover that get involved in the coverage with that leg as bad as he is, and of course he gets licked for the touchdown.
Bono's first touchdown pass in 2 years. Out of the shotgun, Tolliver picks up some yardage as the rookie Pritchard goes out of bounds at the 28. Dave Waymer had him one-on-one.
And Waymer should have tried to make the tackle instead of pushing him out of bounds. Had he made a tackle, he stayed in bounds.
Second down and 2. 49 seconds remaining. Two Falcons in the area, Thomas and Rison. One defender had fallen, but not even close to being caught.
Flag on the play.
Had to be a misread with two receivers in the same area.
We're going to have a penalty here called against the Falcons.
Holding number 43 on the defense. 5-yard penalty, first down.
Brings it out to the 33. Lower left of your screen, you see Waymer, 43. There he is holding on.
There he is grabbing him.
Out of the red gun. First down. Way downfield. He's got Pritchard open. Dave Waymer knocks it away.
Waymer did a great job on that play. He was falling and put the left hand up and knocked it down.
Pritchard had a couple of steps on him. The pass was underthrown. He had his left arm resting on Pritchard as he reached into the air with his right arm, did Waymer.
Well, we saw some hitting out here this afternoon, didn't we?
I'm telling you, this is one guy who will vouch for that. But his shot today really came from his own teammate. Timeout called by the Falcons. They're left with 1. 34 seconds to go in the game.
Pringles corn crisps, more corn for your taste, less fat for your waist.
More fresh roasted whole kernel corn.
And you know what? They've got a lot less fat than the leading corn chips. Look, you can even see the difference.
More and less Pringles corn crisps, more corn for your taste, less fat for your waist. Pringles corn crisps.
More corn, less fat.
Well, here's your lineup tonight on CBS. Do yourself a favor, in fact, before you go grocery shopping again, watch 60 Minutes. They'll tell you something the food companies would just as soon keep to themselves. That's followed by Murder, She Wrote, and Jacqueline Smith stars in the CBS Sunday movie The Rape of Dr. Willis, about a doctor who is raped and then accused of murdering her assailant when he later dies at her hands on the emergency room operating table. That's tonight on CBS. Second down, 34 seconds remaining. Charles Haley hit Tolliver right at the release and deflected it. Charles Haley, who after last week's Philadelphia game in the locker room said, personally, I know my days are numbered here, felt humiliated because the coaches had shown the defense highlights of the Philadelphia defense leading into that game.
Yeah, and I asked him about that yesterday, and he said, Coach, I don't want to talk about it. All I want to do is get ready and be concentrating on winning this game against Atlanta.
29 seconds remaining. Third down play for Atlanta. 3rd and 10. Flag down. Flag down at the line of scrimmage. Falcons 21 seconds, or 49ers 21 seconds away from completing another road fourth quarter comeback.
Bono was very efficient on that drive, wasn't he?
4 out of 5 passing and a beautiful strike to John Taylor for the go-ahead and what possibly will be the winning touchdown. Probably.
Illegal motion on the offense. Penalty declined. 4th down.
Motion penalty declined. 4th down play for the Falcons. They need one of those plays like they threw. Remember years back, Billy White Shoes Johnson caught a pass at the 5, darted around a few defenders and got across on the game's last play.
Yeah, they did that in New Orleans.
Tolliver, and the feet get down. Yes, nice play. Catch by Rison. Really showed you something on that one, Hank.
Yes, he did. And Billy Joe threw a fastball on that play too. Edwards got there in a hurry.
Look at the effort to get the feet down on 4th down, and he keeps them alive. 16 seconds remaining. Football at the 44.
That's really what you call concentration. Concentration on catching the ball, and also in conjunction with that same thought, concentration on keeping the feet in bounds.
They reviewed it. That was the word from Cofer, and showing that the feet were down by Rison. Haley takes a stab at Tolliver. Gets away from another defender. And they burn 7 seconds on the clock. Griffin bats it away.
Yeah, that's not what you want to do. To have to be dodging bullets back there, you got to be able to get back there and throw the ball. Either get it there or get a completion so that you don't take so much time off the clock.
They send Pritchard, Haynes, and Rison to the right. The man they call Heat, George Thomas, to the top of your screen. This one up for grabs, and Falcons are down there. And the ball is caught. Touchdown! Touchdown, Michael Haynes! Can you believe it? Of Michael Haynes.
And really, it looked like the inside guy in the third, the 3 receivers was offside, didn't it?
You thought Pritchard left a little early?
I did. Didn't you?
It looked like it.
Yep.
just when the Niners thought they had a tailor-made victory. Michael Haynes makes his first catch of the day on a Hail Mary, reminiscent of the catch by Billy White Shoes Johnson back in '83. 1 second remaining in this one. And Hank, that pass play to Billy White Shoes Johnson was against the 49ers on the last play of the game here at this stadium in the other end zone. And now 8 years later, they come back to the other side of the field with the same kind of result.
I tell you, it's incredible that you could have something like that happen on the last play of the game. All those folks up there jumping for the ball. And Haynes comes down with it. Remarkable.
Teammates of Billy Joe Tolliver just buried him near midfield after he threw the pass. And MC Hammer celebrates with Atlanta. Squib kick. This will do it here. This is the last chance. Spencer Tillman. He wants someone behind him to lateral it to. There it is. They keep the ball alive. Cox has it. Dion downs him. The game is over. There is a flag on the field.
Please be courteous as you leave the stadium.
Penalty was against San Francisco. The Falcons have done it. They have swept the Niners for the first time since '80. So for Hank Stram, this is Jim Nantz saying so long from Atlanta's Fulton County Stadium, where the score was Atlanta 17, San Francisco 14.
In 14 cities and 10 countries across the Pacific, they're playing our song, United Airlines. Come fly the airline that's uniting the world. Come fly the friendly skies.
When you look for champions, you look to CBS Sports.
They say when you have a cold, eat chicken soup. But did you know that eating certain foods may prevent disease? Meals That Heal starting Monday on CBS this morning. It's breakfast for your head.
This is CBS.
Harding, old money. Nice guy. Bogosian, pharmaceuticals. Shoots in the low 80s. That's Vanderpool, oil. Good backhand.
Who's that?
Turpin, bazillionaire.
What's he like?
He's smart.
Stop by Lexus of Portland and see how smart driving an LS400 can be.
Winter in Les Schwab country. Where you are depends on how tough it can be. For many of us, the only real challenge is when we cross the mountains. This is why Les Schwab's passenger chain policy is so popular. If you don't use them, return them in the spring. As to day-to-day winter driving, stopping quickly and safely in the rain is a must. We suggest Les Schwab All Seasons radials, our best selection ever, in stock and ready to put on, mounted free, backed in writing. Whatever kind of winter you have, Les Schwab traction will make it better.
It's day 2 on the road to Keno, Oregon, in search of the secret to playing Keno. So far, I've consumed 3 bags of barbecued pork rind, 6 lemon-filled jelly donuts, 13.8 gallons of gas, and 4 quarts of bad coffee. Do these numbers mean something? I don't know. But I do know if I don't make it to a rest area soon, I'm gonna burst.
Rejecting the rat race, Tuesday on Newsroom 6 at 5.
The 49ers on the last play of the game.
You're watching the Saints and the Rams, and we've just completed the first quarter. Dick Stockton and Merlin Olsen. The Saints are leading 10-3. And we'll be right back to Anaheim Stadium. New Orleans 10 and the LA Rams 3.
Jeep Cherokee Sport is the perfect vehicle for traveling America's most famous roads. Like Wall Street, Pacific Coast Highway, Park Avenue, and, of course, Sunset Boulevard.
Now drive for the gold and save an additional $1,000 on new Jeep Cherokees.
Bit by bit.
The Xerox guarantee is no ordinary guarantee.
I said show me, and he did.
It says Xerox will replace any product for any reason at your request for 3 years.
It all depends on execution.
It's about a relationship that makes your satisfaction the measure of everything we do. It's the words we live by, and it's from Xerox.
They mean what they say.
Faxing, copying, printing. Xerox, the document company.
There's something new, you're gonna love it. From KFC, it's called the Go Bucket. Pick any kind and you're gonna find at KFC, it's Go Bucket time.
KFC introduces Go Buckets. Choose from original recipe, hot wings, or extra tasty crispy. It's a whole new way to enjoy the Colonel's chicken.
Nobody's cooking like today's KFC. Nobody's cooking like today's KFC.
This is the only touchdown thus far. Steve Walsh, who started in place of Bobby Hebert, throwing to unlikely receiver Ironhead Hayward, and his first NFL touchdown catch made it 10-0 Saints. They have the ball first down on the 47. It's now 10-3, and on the reverse, carrying the ball is Fred McAfee in his first play in the National Football League, a rookie from Mississippi College.
So excited before this game. He was almost walking with his feet about 3 feet off the air. This whole team roots for this young man. He usually plays the opposing ball carriers, looks at film so he can kind of show their style, and he'll get in there and butt heads with this defense. So they really like him. Very quick, very strong, 190 pounds, but he runs bigger than that.
Second down and 6 on the Ram 49. McAfee going in motion. Penalty marker down, and Walsh gets hit in a big rush coming up from Robert Young, the rookie defensive end, but there's a flag then.
Robert Young had played inside at tackle, but this is the position they'd like to have him end up in, at that right defensive end.
Penalty is against the Rams. Offsides.
Offsides, defense, number 91, 5-yard penalty. Repeat, second down.
Kevin Green, he's looking to get going, has only one quarterback sack this year after leading the National League with a total of 46 in the past 3 years.
He is really a fish out of water in this 4-man, 3-linebacker setup. He is a 3-4 linebacker, and he's not afraid to tell you that. I wouldn't be surprised to see him traded at the end of the season.
Second down and 1, double tight ends for the Saints. Hayward will get the first down. And right now, let's check in again with Greg Gumbel in New York. Greg?
All right, Dick, it's all over at RFK Stadium in Washington. 4:01 into overtime. Chip Lowmiller from 41 yards out. The Redskins edge the Houston Oilers, 16-13, Dick.
So the Redskins remain undefeated at 9-0 on the year. They're the team, I guess, for everyone to shoot out now in the NFC.
Well, they're giving new definition to front runners in the NFL. They certainly are doing that. And of course, these New Orleans Saints were perfect as well until Chicago bit them in the fourth quarter last week.
Saints with another first down, and it seems so far in this game that the Saints have played it in Ram territory almost exclusively.
Well, this is particularly an important drive for this defense, Dick. because the Rams able to get something going offensively just a few moments ago, but they've got to be able to sustain that momentum. That means the defense has got to do their job, shut down New Orleans offensively.
Saints with a first down on the Ram 43. Pass intended for McAfee is incomplete. Kevin Green was covering the rookie running back.
Again, that's the matchup they're looking for. They want to get Kevin Green isolated on a running back, on anyone really, that's got some speed, and then get the ball out there. That ball just overthrown by Walsh.
Not only is Dalton Hilliard on injured reserve, but Gil Fenerty, who was expected to start in this game, is hampered with a twisted knee in the fourth quarter of the Bears game last week, could not finish. Second down and 10. Walsh going to the air up the middle, and the pass is caught. And it'll be a first down to John Tice, the second tight end, and the Saints are in business again inside the 25, and a pickup of 20 yards. Larry Kelm covering that time.
These Saint tight ends are basically blockers, but the minute you ignore them, you get this action right here. Tice finding the seam in the zone right there with plenty of room, and that was a good throw by Walsh.
First down for the Saints on the 23-yard line. Hayward back in there as the sole running back. Ironhead with blocking in front of him. Gets to the 20-yard line. Larry Kelm, who's been a busy linebacker for the Rams, on the stop.
Every time I see Ironhead run the ball, I think, what would it be like if you were a 175, 180-pound safety, and suddenly Ironhead at 265 or whatever he is right now, no one will tell you.
Maybe more.
Broke through, and you had to go up and tackle him. I don't think I'd want any piece of that.
Hayward came into the game as the second leading rusher for the Saints. Second down and 7. Rams have 4 defensive linemen and now 4 linebackers. Play fake. Walsh fires incomplete. He was going for Hobie Brenner as tight end, but he was well defensed downfield by the Rams, and that'll bring up third down. Hobie Brenner played at USC, and John Robinson was his head coach of the Trojans.
Right at the end of that play, ball just off the fingertips of Hobie Brenner. The Rams have been stunting defensively on almost every down, trying to get a little extra pressure on Walsh. And so far, this New Orleans line doing a better job than they have over the past few weeks of picking up those stunts.
Third down and 7 for the Saints, who lead 10-3. Here comes a safety blitz on Walsh, and the pass is incomplete. And the rookie Wesley Carroll bobbled it, but he was wide open. And that'll bring up fourth down. Sammy Lilly was on the blitz this time for the Rams.
Here's the stunning we talked about. Kevin Green coming inside, and then the stunt on the outside. They picked it up well, and the pass is thrown where it should be a touchdown. But Wesley Carroll just could not handle it, Dick.
It is fourth down, and Morton Anderson is aboard to try a 37-yard field goal. Tommy Barnhart will hold. Anderson's kick is no good. He hooked it. Anderson's third miss this season. He is 17 for 20, and the score remains 10-3 in favor of the Saints.
From coast to coast, Dodge Caravan has happily served more families than any other minivan. But we've made it even better, because we've come up with an all-wheel drive Dodge Caravan. So now you not only get a vehicle loaded with safety features, including the first minivan airbag, you've got one that automatically handles just about anything the weatherman can throw at it. No shifting, no levers, no sweat. Now ask your Dodge dealer about the security of Caravan's ultimate guarantee.
Inside your smooth-running engine is a torture chamber. And under these grueling conditions, only one leading motor oil meets the world's toughest requirements for viscosity breakdown. Castrol, the only leading motor oil that provides maximum protection against viscosity and thermal breakdown. So use Castrol. Why make things tougher on your engine? Castrol, engineered for today's smaller cars.
Now, get a free officially licensed NFL team hat when you buy a case of Castrol GTX.
If Coach Newton wins the game, where does that leave the doc?
I'd be the busiest man in town because most people would drop dead of a heart attack.
Then Elizabeth's new work clothes don't wear well with the major.
Isn't that costume great? It really looked cool on Barbie.
Just about her size.
Major Dad, Monday.
All those who love great comedies, say hi.
The show that keeps you on the edge of your seat. Over 67 lives saved.
Jeff kept saying, I don't want to die. I don't want to die.
Rescue 911, Tuesday.
CBS Sports coverage of the National Football League is sponsored by Chrysler Corporation and its divisions, proud sponsor of the 1992 U.S. Olympic team. Dristan Nasal Sprays, Dristan, the face of relief today. And by Allstate for home, auto, life, and business insurance. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Dick Stockton and Merlin Olsen, and the reaction of John Robinson when Morton Anderson missed a field goal. That's a rare event, Merlin.
Well, John feels some new life in his veins right at that moment.
Let's see if his offense feels new life. First down, Del Pino picks up a couple as the Rams start from the 20-yard line. Wayne Martin with help from Pig Goff.
Walsh over there talking with the offensive lineman, the rest of that offense getting straightened out on what they want to do. On that last play, it looked to me like Walsh kind of pulled away from the rush. Well, here's the heat. Pat Swilling. Everett's going to look to him on the left and Jackson on the right.
Second down and 8, and Everett steps up in the pocket, and the pass nearly intercepted. It was right in the hands of Sam Mills, who was juggling it as if he were in a nightclub, but he couldn't hold on, and that's the third time Everett nearly had an interception. One was picked off.
This is role reversal. Watch this. The ball bounces free here. Mills has it in his hands. Watch Del Pino. Del Pino is now a defensive back. He's going to go in and knock it right out of Sam Mills' hand. Sam is saying, I had the ball. I had the ball. It was here.
Mills at 5'9", and one of the best run defenders. Now it's third down and 8. Everett getting some time, and the pass is caught by Henry Ellard, and that'll be good enough for a first down. But the penalty marker is down, so let's wait, and it may be against the Rams, and apparently that's the case. A 15-yard reception.
Everybody walking back to the line of scrimmage because of that holding penalty. Everett needs to be able to step up. As long as they can push those linebackers wide and get that good lockup up front, Everett can step up into that pocket and get the ball away.
Hands to the face, number 67. Moved it to the face and held it there. 10-yard penalty.
That's Duval Love, who was playing guard. He played tackle the first time the teams played and was beaten badly by Ricky Jackson, and he's guilty of the hold in what would have been a first down for the Rams. It'll be third down and 18, and Flipper Anderson, who has been on injured reserve, in the lineup now for the Rams. One of 4 wide receivers. Everett dumps it off to Vernon Turner. And Vernon Turner, fighting off defenders, will still be short of a first down by about 4 yards. Vince Buck finally making the tackle in the open field.
Let's see how the Rams are handling the rush here. On the outside, that's Jackson coming in, and Jackie Slater pushes him by. On the near side, here's the check on that. There's Jackson. Let's get a chance to see that switch sides on that play. That's Big Perry pushing him outside. Gerald Perry, good job of protection on that play.
Fourth down, Dale Hatcher will kick it away. Rams got out of trouble but couldn't get the first down. Gets off a beauty. Vince Buck Back to return at the 28. And hit hard at the 33-yard line. 46-yard kick, but the penalty by the Rams prevented the first down, and the Saints will get it when we return.
Because AT&T knows that there's news to share and times to remember and plans to be made and stories to tell. Now you can save even more this holiday season. 30% off calls for 2 full months from 5 to 10 p.m. for Reach Out America plan customers with an evening discount. There's never been a better time to be with us. If you don't have Reach Out America, call now and get 30% off. Only for you, only from us.
The Allstate agent who helps insure your car can give you a hand with a plan for life insurance. Life insurance. Your Allstate agent wants to be your agent for life. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Come out, wherever you are.
There is a darkness in every soul where evil waits. From director Martin Scorsese, Robert De Niro, Nick Nolte, Jessica Lange, Cape Fear, rated R. Exclusive engagement November 13th. Starts November 15th everywhere.
And isn't it true that this auto part did, in fact, come from the defendant's car?
Objection. Prosecution is leading the witness.
Overruled. You may answer the question.
This part most definitely came from that car.
And how can you be sure?
I work for Napa Auto Parts. It's my job to be sure.
No further questions, Your Honor.
Napa people are parts experts, so they can answer any question, whatever the case may be.
You're watching CBS Sports coverage of the National Football League.
Pictures from the MetLife blimp, and we're not far from Disneyland. There's the famed Matterhorn, and kids having a great time today, not far from the stadium. Right now, the Saints are having a good time, leading 10-3.
Carl Smith on the sideline, offensive coordinator of the Saints. We asked him about, will you go after Todd Light, the rookie? He said, we don't know how he's going to play, whether he's going to be tight or loose. He said, until we have a feeling for that, we won't try and attack him. They have not gotten him so far, but they're watching him.
First down on the 34-yard line, and Hayward not going to get away this time. Kevin Green was the first defender to meet him, and the Saints apparently will lose a yard.
Todd Light, in our conversations with him yesterday, very, very confident. Feels he's ready. In fact, had it not been for some injuries, probably would have been in the lineup before this. He replaces Jerry Gray. In his earlier years, an all-pro, a Pro Bowler, but he has simply slowed down to where he can't cover, and the rookie gets his opportunity.
He has faced Steve Walsh several times when the two went at each other at college. Second down and 11. Fred McAfee, the rookie, is in there now and gets the call, trying to go outside, and Larry Kelm grabs a hold of McAfee and ends things right there. It'll be third down and 11.
Little linebacker Larry Kelm, right in the middle of your picture, will just fly to the outside. A chance to watch him here, and this is what a good linebacker must do. Read the play and flow to the outside, and look at him as he keeps his feet nice and wide, slides with the runner, and then takes him down at the line of scrimmage.
They'll call it third down and 10. 4 wide receivers for the Saints. 8.5 minutes remaining in the first half. And a long count, and here comes the pressure on Walsh. He steps up, and the pass is incomplete, and a flag is down. Wesley Carroll was covered, and Darrell Henley may be called for pass interference.
A very late flag thrown, and the officials gathering there.
And apparently not.
I think they may say it was uncatchable.
Howard Rowe.
We're picking up the flag. Pass was ruled uncatchable. Brings up fourth down.
You're exactly right, Merlin.
This certainly was a pass that Walsh should have completed. The receiver is open, and Walsh simply overthrows his man right there. They're right. That ball too high to come down. No penalty.
So Tommy Barnhart, whose shank of 12 yards led to the final winning drive by the Bears a week ago, kicking for the first time. Vernon Turner back deep for the Rams. Gets off a beauty. Turner with the fair catch at the 21-yard line. Fine kick that time by Barnhart. 45 yards. There is an altercation in the middle of the field at the 25-yard line. When you see the officials without the hat on, you know that it's more than just a little push, but they've settled it. And the Rams offense will go to work with 8:11 remaining in the first half.
A new arrival. A tire so special it may last as long as you own your car. The new XH4. Congratulations. It's a Michelin. Backed by an 80,000-mile treadwear limited warranty. Michelin. Because so much is riding on your tires.
I am holding something green and powerful, and it's going to change your weekend.
What, lawn clippers?
I'm picking you up at 4 o'clock.
Do we still have 2 children?
Reservation for the Newtons?
Yes, ma'am. What else have you got planned?
The whole weekend.
The privileges of membership. Only with the American Express card. Don't leave home without it.
With this blindfold on, tell me what you smell.
I can't smell anything. Did you put it up there yet? It's stuffed up so far into my nose, I just can't blow it out. I just want to be able to breathe.
Would you try Dristan 12-hour nasal spray? With this blindfold on again, tell me what you smell now.
I can smell an orange, but that wasn't there that last time.
What do you feel now?
I can breathe all the way up through my nose. It cleared me up. Boom. Dristan nasal spray just works incredibly fast.
Dristan, the face of relief today.
I wish it were the weekend, kicking back, watching the Niners Saints.
Yeah, Niners getting it together, Saints looking vicious.
This meeting is eternal.
Let's listen to the Rams double teaming Calvin Nicholson on the kick coverage.
It's no wonder that they end up head-to-head at the end of this play. Here's the confrontation. Newman and Nicholson.
They did a good job on Nicholson. First down on the 21-yard line for the Rams, who trail 10-3. And the handoff is to Marcus Dupree. And Dupree may get back to the line of scrimmage, making the tackle Toy Cook from the secondary and linebacker James Williams.
Got to be a little excitement down there in Mississippi. Philadelphia, Mississippi, the home to Marcus Dupree, and the home also to a young man by the name of Fred McAfee. They live right across the street from each other. But this youngster has great strength and an unusual career. Only 1 year an All-American at Oklahoma. Went right into the USFL and played very well for the New Orleans, later to be the Portland Breakers, and then got hurt. And he's made his comeback. And he is, of course, a physical force to be reckoned with.
Robert Del Pino charges out to the 24-yard line. Dupree actually transferred to Southern Mississippi from Oklahoma, but never played in a game and suffered a knee injury. They thought he was through. Last year appeared on special teams for the most part and injured his toe in preseason. So he's had big injury problems and now hopes he'll be the big back the Rams need.
A remarkable package of speed and size and strength, and the Rams, desperately needing some help with their running game, were willing to take a shot with it.
3rd down and 7 on the Ram 24. Everett getting some time, and he completes the pass to Ron Brown. Make it Ellard, not Brown. Ellard, their leading receiver, and he's got a 17-yard pickup to the 41-yard line.
They're protecting very well inside. Watch the big man inside. That's Doug Smith on the nose right there. Duval Love 67, Jackie Slater outside. Look how they stack everyone inside, get them right together, holding Frank Warren up, giving Everett time to step up. Had time, could step up and threw that nice pass to Henry Ellard.
First down, Rams on their 41-yard line. Del Pino fights his way for a gain of about 3 yards. Clock is running, under 6 minutes remaining in the first half. Les Miller on the stop for the Saints.
Rhythm so important to this passing game. Ernie Zampese has designed an offense that really throws to the spots more or less. And whenever it is on, when he can get into the flow with his receivers, and when he knows he's going to have protection, he is mighty tough to stop.
You said the key word, though, protection, and he's not gotten much of that this year.
Well, you saw what happens on that last play when he does get it.
Second down and 8. He doesn't get it now and is hit from behind. Holds on to the ball and is down by Pat Swilling finally after James Williams also put on a rush. No gain on the play. The Atlanta Falcons beat the San Francisco 49ers on the last play of the game, and as a result, it is Atlanta now 5-4 in second place in the NFC West as the Niners drop to 4-5.
New Orleans Saints would desperately like to finish this season the way it started. The first half of the season positioning. The second half is where you win the championship.
Third down and 8. Del Pino fighting for first down yardage, but is short by a yard as he is stopped at midfield. But this is a good game plan for the Rams. They're making the Saints respect the running game. Frank Warren and Brett Maxey that time on the play, and it's 4th and 1.
No chance here for the Rams. They're just going to kick it away. Robinson playing it close to the vest. Yeah, I think it's probably a good choice. I think it's a good choice. The Saints are not a team that are going to take a lot of risks on their side either. You've got to be patient when you play the Saints.
Vince Buck goes back, and Dale Hatcher gets set to punt for the Rams. It'll sail into the end zone for a touchback and bounce out.
Once it touches the end zone, it's back. No way.
Another reason it was a good choice to kick the ball away. If you don't get the first down and the Saints score a touchdown, you're in big trouble. Right now, the Rams are in the game.
The woman he attacked.
This is the man who raped me.
Is the only doctor who can save his life. But will she? Jacqueline Smith, The Rape of Dr. Willis, tonight.
Hey, how many cooking classes have we taken together?
I lost count. Well, we are getting pretty good at this. We should open a restaurant.
Open the wine and we'll talk about it.
There is a wine that's perfect for the lighter, more delicate flavors of today's cooking.
This is a great Sauvignon Blanc.
It really makes the dinner, doesn't it?
I'm taking credit for the scallops.
Who gets credit for the wine?
Me.
Of course.
Ernest and Julio Gallo present their 1989 Sauvignon Blanc. It's time for a change to Gallo.
Chrysler Fifth Avenue at $22,000, the perfect balance between self-indulgence and common sense.
Now drive for the gold with $1,000 cash back on New Yorker Fifth Avenue.
For some people, the best thing about the morning is that it's over by the afternoon. So the Braun shaver is quiet to soothe the soul. It's curved to comfortably fit the face, with 3 shaving positions to cut, groom, and trim with superb results. Braun, a state-of-the-art shaver that could improve your state of mind. The world's #1 selling foil shaver.
Here's the lineup next Sunday on CBS for NFL football beginning at 12:30 Eastern. Atlanta at Washington. Both teams won today. 49ers and Saints, we've talked about that game. And Philadelphia, Cleveland. 4 o'clock Eastern, the Giants against the Cardinals in Phoenix. First down on the 20-yard line for the Saints, leading 10-3. Walsh under some pressure. Pass is intercepted. Michael Stewart laterals to Todd Light. And he laterals to Pat Terrell, who smartly just sits on the ball. But the Rams will get it back in Saints territory. And the first turnover of the game by the New Orleans Saints.
Pressure on the outside from Gerald Robinson to force the bad throw. Watch it right here. As Walsh feels the scrambling pressure, overthrows again and puts it right into the hands of Michael Stewart. Now, this is not smart football here. You got the chance. You don't want to boot it. Terrell finally lays down on it.
Rams ended up on the lucky side.
Dodge announces the new Magnum Series engines. Engines that deliver as much as 44% more power. Drop a 180 horsepower Magnum V6 in a 4x2 Dakota Sport, and you'll outpower and outpull any standard compact from Ford, Chevy, or Toyota, and do it for less than 10 grand. Dodge trucks, a powerful way to rediscover American value.
Now, drive for the gold with up to $1,000 cash back on select Dodge trucks.
Someone's taken some steps to juice up their batteries. And today's Duracell batteries can even outlast the ones we made just a few years back. In fact, today's Duracell batteries aren't just built better, they're built to beat the band. You can't top the copper top.
These 91s are here to remind you McDonald's McLean Deluxe is 91% fat-free.
No, we're not.
But you're all 91s.
Brain surgeon? Not. We're here because McLean Deluxe is 100% delicious. With a Diet Coke, it even satisfies Big Jeff Right. Right? Right.
Right. It's 100% delicious. So why 91s? And then again, why not? The unforgettable taste of McLean Deluxe at McDonald's today.
This game summary is sponsored by McLean Deluxe.
Hayward with his first touchdown career reception. Walsh starting for Hebert has thrown an interception to give the Rams an opportunity here, trailing 10-3. The field goal by the Rams, the first points allowed by the Saints in the first quarter this year, but a first down for the Rams on the New Orleans 31. Jim Everett's pass, and that should have been intercepted by Sam Mills. It was right in his hands on the pass intended for Damone Johnson.
Damone just jerked his arms apart, and Sam twice today has had his hands on the football and has been denied the interception because of good plays by the offense. Watch Damone here, jerking those arms and making it impossible for Sam to close his arms on the ball.
That was not a good decision on the pass, and Everett has been intercepted once, but 3 other times. Saints could have picked one other one off. Second down and 10. Everett stepping up, and his pass is caught by Price, and a first down to the 11-yard line. Jim Price hit by Gene Atkins and Brett Maxey, but a 20-yard gain.
If you can give Everett time, and that means denying these linebackers a chance to come upfield. Watch Perry right there, sticking with Swilling and putting him inside. No chance for them to get to the quarterback, and boy, he did his job.
Rams with a first down on the Saints 12 with 2:45 remaining in the half. Les Miller and Pig Goff at the defensive line against Everett, and the give is to Del Pino, and he gets to the 5-yard line. Gene Atkins again in a gain of 7.
Good blocking up front for Del Pino as they try to take advantage now of this opportunity to knock this game up. Let's look at that big line up front. They've had to adjust this line because of injuries. Damone Johnson, Gerald Perry, and Del Pino right on the back of Duval Love, the pulling guard, to break to the outside and make some extra yardage.
We will not get another playoff before the 2-minute warning. Will give the Rams a chance to talk things over. They face a second down and 3 as the Rams need a touchdown to tie this game.
This Dodge Dynasty has air conditioning, AM/FM stereo cassette, power locks, speed control, tilt wheel, an airbag, even a warranty choice no other manufacturer offers. We've made driving easier, smarter, smoother, and safer. Incredibly, for less than $16,000. Dodge Dynasty, a great way to rediscover American value.
No better way to face the day. When the sun comes up, then I'm feeling fine. 'Cause the AM surely is my favorite time.
The morning belongs to Speed Stick. It's what more men reach for, to prepare, to prevent, to protect. Speed Stick, 110% protection.
No better way to face the day. No better way to face the day.
Speed Stick, 110% protection.
The temperature never drops below Xerex. That's very important to remember, especially at a time like this, when it's very deserted and very cold. Ah, you did remember Xerex Antifreeze. The temperature never drops below Xerex.
Attenzione, prego. Cos'è questa cosa qua?
It's the Canon Photora.
Sembra sospetto. Guarda qua,
With futuristic flash and long-range power zoom lens. The Photora from Canon. So advanced, it's simple.
Some are legends, some are still competing, all are in their 40s. A 40-something field of PGA champions plays in the Amicos Intel Championship next weekend.
Back at Anaheim Stadium, Dick Stockton and Merlin Olsen in a sellout here at the Big A. Saints lead 10-3. They led 10-0 at one point, but the Rams are knocking on the door, have a second down and 3 on the Saints' 5-yard line. And John Robinson said he thinks the Saints are the best goal line defense in the league. And the pitch is to Del Pino, and Del Pino barely gets to the 4. James Williams, who's playing today in place of Vaughn Johnson for the second straight week, makes the tackle.
The Rams have not put their big backers on the field, and a chance for them perhaps to put Marcus Dupree in there. Instead, they maintain Del Pino in there. But Steve Sidwell, in talking to us yesterday, said that the dangerous part of this Ram offense is Del Pino and Eller. Those are the guys that we worry most about.
The Rams are going to call a timeout right here as Pat Carter, the second tight end, came in. So a timeout, 1:27 on the clock.
Not just white.
Really white.
Not just white.
Really white.
When you want whiter white,
Still going. Nothing outlasts the Energizer. They keep going and going. Dodge announces the new Magnum Series engines. Engines that deliver as much as 44% more power. Drop a 230 horsepower Magnum V8 in a standard Ram 4x2 half-ton and you'll outhaul, outpull, and outpower comparable V8s from Ford and Chevy. Dodge trucks. A powerful way to rediscover American value.
Now, drive for the gold with up to $1,000 cash back on select Dodge trucks.
Some people perspire.
We sweat.
The only protection for us?
New Ara XX Sports Scent.
It's the only leading sports solid that doesn't leave a white flaky mess.
New Ara XX Sports Scent helps keep us extra
dry.
I do have flight 139 leaving in 20 minutes, but only in first class.
I'll take it. Yeah, they're calling my flight. I'll be there. Miss much?
No, it just started.
Where is she?
The second potted plant from the left.
Coming through when you're needed most. Membership has its privileges.
American champions Tanya Harding, Todd Eldridge, Christopher Bowman, and Christy Yamaguchi give special exhibition performances on Olympic Winterfest next Saturday.
So very important to take advantage of your offensive opportunities. The Rams have already blown one chance to get a touchdown in this game. They've got another one right here. They need to punch it into the end zone. They want to get this game back on track.
3rd and 2. Everett is rushed, and the pass is knocked down, intended for Del Pino, but a tremendous rush by Gene Atkins. from his free safety position made Everett jump, and a penalty marker is down, and that may be against the Saints, and if it is, it'll be a first down for the Rams.
Big rush, and also a fine defensive play by Ricky Jackson over there.
It could be half the distance, but that may be enough for the first down.
Foul, number 28, unnecessary roughness on
unnecessary roughness against Gene Atkins, and it is a first down on the 2.
Watch the pressure from the inside, and right at the end of the rush, the hands to the face. Now that's just not something you can get away with. Not intentional, but anytime the hands go to the face, they throw the flag. There's Jackson making a great play on Delpino, but it won't count.
First and goal on the 2. Delpino gets into the end zone. Touchdown, Rams. That is the 10th touchdown of the season for Robert Delpino, and he came into today's play leading the NFL in that department.
The man that Steve Sidwell said they were worried most about comes right back to tie this ball game and allow the Rams to convert this opportunity to score.
Zendejas needs the conversion to tie the game. He's been perfect this year, and it's a tie, 10-10. So capitalizing on Stewart's interception and on the turnover, Robert Delpino. Good blocking up front by the Rams.
Hey, Frank, we're on a menu.
Coming right up.
You are about to witness a revolution in business communications. At just one touch of a button, you can add photographs to anything, from memos to menus. Anyone can do it. Any business can afford it. Introducing the Apple one-step scanning system.
Hey, this is nice.
Thank you. It's a better way to make yourself understood.
The Allstate agent who helps insure your home can give you a hand with a plan for life insurance. Life insurance. Your Allstate agent wants to be your agent for life. You're in good hands with Allstate.
He's back. This time we get him. STP gas treatment. Cleans intake valves and fuel injectors to help engines run better. STP, the edge.
The Sony Trinitron XBR television. Simply brilliant.
The strength of this New Orleans defense, linebacking, and how do you take care of that? Jackie Slater down block, Duval Love inside. Watch how they take care of this New Orleans defense and make room inside for Delpino to score.
Zendejas kicking the ball off, and it sails through the end zone. It's a touchback, and the Saints will begin from the 20-yard line. They have all 3 of their timeouts remaining with 1 minute and 20 seconds to go in the half. But at one time, the Saints had a 10-point lead, and the Rams have come back to tie it up.
The power of a resource essential to all. At GTE, we provide that power with telephone systems and services central to the life of a community, the well-being of families, the needs of every business, great or small. GTE Telephone Services. We give you the power to flourish in any environment. At GTE, the power is on.
You came. I was alone. I should have known you were temptation.
The tempting taste of McDonald's alluring quarter pounder with cheese. Add fries and a Coke for an irresistible deal. The extra value meal at McDonald's today.
Temptation, I am yours.
Dodge announces the new Magnum Series engines. Engines that deliver as much as 44% more power. Drop a 180 horsepower Magnum V6 in a 4x2 Dakota Sport, and you'll outpower and outpull any standard compact from Ford, Chevy, or Toyota, and do it for less than 10 grand. Dodge trucks, a powerful way to rediscover American value.
Now, drive for the gold with up to $1,000 cash back on select Dodge trucks.
A minute and 20 seconds remaining in the first half, and not one member of the Rams starting defensive line is in there now. Bill Hawkins, Mike Peel, and Gerald Robinson are the three-man front. Going with more three-man line, and Kevin Green obviously also, while he's a linebacker, is a defensive pass rusher on the outside.
Jeff Fisher expecting the pass here, and he's got fresh legs on the field. He wants to get the pass rush underway, but boy, those defenders are going to be playing deep. Nobody's going to get behind him here.
7 defensive backs. First down on the 20. Inside handoff to Buford Jordan, and he'll just get back to the line of scrimmage. Coming up on the NFL Today Dockers halftime report, Greg and Terry will have all the scores, highlights, and latest information from around the league. 1 minute to play in the half. Walsh, incomplete. Buford Jordan was the intended receiver. And that'll bring up third down, and the Rams, if they hold here, will get another chance offensively.
We still keep expecting to see Walsh go after Todd Light, but they've not thrown at the rookie yet. And again, an indication that either they're not sure exactly how he's playing out there, or simply that he is doing a fine job of covering.
Well, Light told us yesterday, I've been playing cornerback since the 9th grade.
Oh, he's not afraid. He's not afraid to step out there and cover.
Pressure on Walsh from Green, and the pass is caught by the rookie Carroll, but it's way short of the first down by 5 yards. Jerry Gray, playing in nickel situations, makes the tackle for the Rams, and that'll bring up fourth down with 46 seconds remaining, and the Rams will use up a timeout. They have 1 left.
The Saints, an unusual team in the sense that they want to get those receivers coming across the field, get them the football, and then they expect them to run for big yardage. When a receiver, Wesley Carroll, caught that football, he's 5 yards short of the first down, and the Rams did a good job of getting him down before he could turn back up the field. But this is Jim Mora's conservative nature showing here. They're not going downfield. They're saying, hey, we're content. Even though the score is tied, we feel we can come back in the second half and take charge.
And actually, John Robinson doesn't dislike this kind of a game either. He says, we'll play the Saints game because that's the only way to go it, and we'll go down to the end and see who gets the last chance to win it.
In fact, in talking to us yesterday, John Robinson said we like that because we have the feeling that we'll have the advantage late in the fourth quarter. Well, that is yet to be seen.
Tommy Barnhart will kick. Vernon Turner deep for the Rams. And the whistle blew before the kick. Penalty marker down way upfield, and a delay of the game call may be coming up against the Saints.
Delay of game, New Orleans, 5-yard penalty. Repeat first, fourth down.
Jim Moore is not overly enthralled with that penalty.
I'm sure he said take as much time as you can, but don't take quite that much.
Another fine kick by Barnhart. Turner on his 32. And Turner is stopped at the 45-yard line of the Rams. A 14-yard return. Brett Maxey on the tackle, and with 34 seconds to go, Rams have 1 timeout to try to get some more points on the scoreboard. Cincinnati Bengals win their first game of the year, and there's an injured Saint on the field, and that's Benny Thompson.
Taking his time getting off the field. John Robinson's conversation with us yesterday, he said, hey, Saints game is going to be typical of all of our games with him. He said we'll probably slug it out for about 2 hours and 40 minutes, and then we'll see what we can do at the end of the ball game. Well, the slugging out process has gone pretty well here in the first half.
First down Rams on their 46. Everett completes to Price.
Fumble.
And the Saints get the ball back. And apparently the whistle had not blown, and they're marking it as Saints ball, and the fumble recovery by Bensy Glenn. Jim Price was doing all he could to hold on to the ball, but he couldn't, and New Orleans gets it back with 22 seconds to play in the half.
Gene Atkins will strip this football on the inside. Watch all the bumping taking place. There's Atkins just driving inside. Look at this as he just pulls the arm and gets that football away from Price. Outstanding defensive play by Atkins.
I was about ready to praise Price for holding on to the ball with all of those Saints on his back, but he didn't do it long enough.
Well, that's pure and simple an attack on the football by Atkins.
Saints have all 3 of their timeouts remaining, and they're not far from a Morton Anderson field goal try, but they're going to review this one to see whether Price was down. The whistle is strictly a judgment call on the field.
I don't think there's any question that the ball is loose before he touches the ground. Watch Atkins again. See, the arm has already taken it out. He's already pulled the arm away, and the ball had dropped out on the far side of Price's body. John Robinson is going to argue, but I think he's going to lose this one.
Here's another look.
We saw a lot of New Orleans Saints on that one, didn't we? That's good defense. Lots of people to the ball.
Play stands is called on the field. Fumble recovered by New Orleans. First down.
They did not change the call. Ball was jarred loose. So it's the Saints with a first down on their 44-yard line. 22 seconds remaining in the half. 3 timeouts remaining for New Orleans. Walsh with the design rollout. Incomplete. Floyd Turner, the intended receiver, and Todd Light finally gets a ball thrown his way.
He went after him on the pattern where they tried to drive him off and did a good job of doing it, but Walsh with an inaccurate pass. Walsh has thrown the ball over his receivers' heads earlier, and this pass just inaccurate as he threw it to the outside. Had he thrown a good pass, it would have been completed. Just watch the bottom of the screen. They'll run Light off. He's giving plenty of room here, and then come back to the ball. Watch where this pass is thrown. That's just a poorly thrown football.
Second down. Walsh pass is caught. Eric Martin, and they've got a first down, stopping the clock with 10 seconds to go. They're already in field goal range for Morton Anderson. They probably were when they had the play started, and a gain of 25.
Well, Jim Morris said the cutoff line, the automatic line for him is the 35. He said anytime we're inside the 35, I feel very comfortable with putting my field goal kicker on the field. But Walsh is still out there. They're going to pop one more time to get a little closer.
10 seconds remain in the half.
Walsh will not have this football in his hands very long. I can promise you that.
Walsh gone for 6. Touchdown, Wesley Carroll. In the middle of double coverage, Miami rookie Wesley Carroll with a touchdown catch with 3 seconds to play in the first half. Carroll's first touchdown reception of his career, and a brilliant one.
You said it right. Right into the middle of coverage on that last play. He's got two people all over it. And a chance here to watch a great catch as he just goes up and strips the ball away. You can't cover a man any better than that. That's just an athletic catch by Wesley Carroll, a rookie who's really had an impact on this team.
I heard the cha-ching in the background after Carroll's touchdown catch.
And totally out of character for the very, very conservative Mora. And I think he was probably shaking a little bit on the sideline as he saw that football go into the air. Walsh should not have thrown the football, but they end up with a touchdown anyway.
Morton Anderson will try to give the Saints a 7-point lead. And it's 17-10.
Michael Stewart and Darrell Henley on the coverage as two Miami teammates hook up. And the 6-foot Carroll goes right over the top of the 5'9" Henley to steal that football and the touchdown.
How about another cha-ching? All right. 17-10. Second touchdown pass of the day for Walsh, but the fumble by Price set it up when it appeared as if the Rams were getting in position to take a lead before halftime, and how things changed dramatically in a short time.
And I really think that the Ram defense relaxed on that play. I think they were guessing that it was going to be a short pass, that the New Orleans Saints were going to be conservative, as they so often are. The Saints were not conservative on that call. The emotion of this game can turn. A moment ago, the Rams celebrating a touchdown that tied this ball game, and suddenly the Saints can jump back on top.
Rams with a terrific comeback after falling behind 10-0. Now they're down by 7 with 3 seconds to go. Anderson will kick off. Turner and Del Pino are back deep. Short kick, Carter. Backup tight end will run out the clock. So a subdued Anaheim Stadium crowd sees the Saints struck late, and that's the end of the first half with the score, the Saints 17 and the Rams 10.
CBS Sports coverage of the National Football League is sponsored by Dodge, a division of the Chrysler Corporation, proud sponsor of the 1992 U.S. Olympic team. Holiday Inn Hotels, Holiday Inn, stay with someone you know. And by McDonald's, getting more for your money. That's McDonald's today.
On game day, out on that field, I know that the New Orleans Saints are counting on their quarterback to make them winners. As the owner of the Saints, I know we need a quarterback to make us winners in helping our community. That's why we picked the United Way as our community service quarterback. United Way has got the structure, the manpower, and the compassion to make us all winners. After seeing United Way at work, the Saints organization contributed $50,000 to help solve our most pressing problems. When we see the results and the smiles of these children at this United Way Child Care Center, we realize that these kids need us today, and I know we'll need them tomorrow. The United Way, it brings out the best in all of us. Yay!
This message furnished by the National Football League.
Let's say you have a very important call scheduled for 2:15 p.m., which is precisely when your daughter calls to explain in detail the eating habits of Muffy the doll. Do you A, miss the important call, B, hang up on your daughter, or C, perform a miracle only mommies and daddies can?
U.S. West, making the most of your time.
Good afternoon, Dad. Keep your hands off the fender. Did you read Chevron Supreme has high octane and Tetraline? Is that right? Maybe I could go fill it up. Just to the gas station.
High-performance, high-octane Chevron Supreme fights power-robbing deposits with the cleansing power of Tetraline.
3 hours. Gee, Dad, you didn't want me to mix the old gas with the new gas, did you?
The decision to buy a new Honda Accord is a very complex process whereby the higher nervous centers receive stimuli from the sense organs and interpret and correlate them to formulate certain motor impulses. So use your brain. Go get an Accord.
The NFL Today Dockers Halftime Report is sponsored by Levi's Dockers. Relax, you're among friends.
Those of you watching the Saints and the Rams, welcome back to our studios in New York. Along with Terry Bradshaw, I'm Greg Gumbel. Halftime of the game you are watching, it's New Orleans leading at 17-10 on the 30-yard touchdown pass from Steve Walsh to Wesley Carroll. Meanwhile, they're still at halftime in Dallas, where the Cowboys lead the Phoenix Cardinals by a score of 10-7. The only Dallas touchdown of the day, as Jimmy Johnson looked on, was Emmitt Smith, the NFC's leading rusher from 2 yards out. He has 40 yards in the first half of action, and Smith put the Cowboys up by a score of 10-0. Cardinals came back with a touchdown run, and they've just kicked the ball off now to start the second half. It is a 3-point lead for Dallas. Halftime in Indianapolis, the Dolphins lead the Colts 10-3. Colts, of course, coming into this game winless in 8 starts. Dan Marino has thrown a 12-yard pass to Mark Duper for a touchdown. Earlier today, the 7-1 Oilers went into RFK Stadium and lost to the Redskins in overtime. The Redskins winning their 9th in 9 starts this year. Everybody excited in Washington, D.C. today. 6-6 tie in the fourth quarter. Ernest Biner breaks free and goes 23 yards for the touchdown. Redskins were up 13-6. But the Oilers, 3rd and goal from the 1. Lorenzo White for the touchdown. In the overtime, tied at 13, Warren Moon.
Moon down inside, going in for the score here. Notice that Darrell Green makes the interception. The pressure on Moon forced him to get rid of that ball. He didn't need to throw this pass.
That set up Chip Lowmiller, 41 yards out. He won it. Jim Gray talked with Darrell Green. Big game, Darrell?
I don't think there's ever been one bigger for me. I mean, you know, I'm from Houston. Everybody's looking. I'm out of my mind.
We will be too. Next Sunday, Washington hosts Atlanta. NFL Today at 12:30 Eastern. In Atlanta, talk about being out of your mind. Steve Young on the sideline. Steve Bono subbing.
Coming in, Deion Sanders been hurt all day with that right leg. Should not have been in this game. Could have cost the Falcons a victory. There's a second TD reception for Taylor.
49ers led 14-10. Final seconds. Here's Jim Nantz.
This one up for grabs, and Falcons are down there. And the ball is caught. Touchdown! Touchdown, Michael Haynes!
It was a big one for us today, and we'll take them any way we can get it. And the only thing that comes close for me would be winning a state championship in high school.
Great game in Atlanta. Falcons win it by 3. In Chicago, Bears have no fear. Jim Harbaugh and Wendell Davis had a great day for Chicago.
Harbaugh coming off that dramatic win last week in New Orleans when he threw the touchdown pass to Waddle, comes back with one early. Now he scrambles, but notice the improvement right here in Harbaugh is a guy that has the ability to run, does not, pulls the ball up, finds Davis for his second TD of the day.
Bears held Barry Sanders to 63 yards rushing and won it by 10. In Minnesota, Tom Kelly paying a visit to the sideline. Terry Allen, 2 touchdowns today, including a big one here.
Yeah, who are you, Terry Allen? Well, I'll tell you, he's a guy that's out of Clemson, a 9th-round draft choice. Actually, this is his rookie year. Had a knee operation, big day rushing. Where's Walker? Where's the running game? Maybe they found him with Allen.
5 turnovers by Tampa today. At the Meadowlands, the Jets and the Packers. Don Mikowski sideline. Ken O'Brien, Hail Mary time.
Hey, it's Sunday. Well, Sunday's Hail Mary Day. Look at this 2-in-1 day. Burkett right at there in the right spot, and a Hail Mary is nothing more than I hope kind of pass.
And then in overtime, Pat Leahy from 37 yards out, Old Reliable wins it. The Jets go 5-4 with a 19-16 win. At Rich Stadium, the Bills are used to scoring almost 40 points a game. Not today, but they got just enough. 22-17 over New England. Jim Kelly, the 14-yarder to Don Beebe, that put them up 13-3. They won it 22-17. And in Cincinnati, Sam Weish wins one. Matt Stover's field goal with 9 seconds remaining, blocked by Eric Thomas. The Bengals over the Browns by a score of 23.